If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your video. Tony has no video right now.
Oh,
weird. It's a little weird. Right now, all we're looking at is a drawing of Sparky. Yep, there he is. Whoa! Whoa! Holy crap! I was leaning in there. You gotta watch yourself with that.
Look, God. I pop into the world just like children.
Is that a new camera you're using?
No, it is not. Hello, everybody in Facebook Live Land. We are the Podguyz Podcast, bringing it to you as we do every Monday, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time, on time, every time, because we push the buttons and we do the thing.
It's 10:18, but that's cool.
Shut up. I love it. I'm Tony Cass.
Kevin Neary here.
Of course, we have the ever-loving Picasso, the painter of the thing. He does the swish.
Tony, your intro,
swish and the swoosh.
Your intro reminded me of Paul Rudd from Anchorman 2. 60% of the time works every time.
Every time.
You're like, wait, what?
Lay Sparky.
And Sparky's got a new graphic in magenta. We'll call that magenta meets hot pink, and the H and the I hitting together. He is greeting everybody.
It is
on the
baby
big board.
Fresh, my sir. Baby fresh.
Baby fresh. Big announcement here in the Neary household. We have met.
Whoa. Big event worldwide, Kevin. Worldwide event. Kevin is a father. That's right, folks. If you bet on that, you would bet on anything.
People are betting on me fucking. That's great. Like $5.
Out of the three of us that are going to get anything, it's probably you.
Little Amelia Maeve Neary was born April 29th. She came a little bit early, so we had to take some extra precautions. But she is home right now, and above her crib, she has a live stream to her favorite podcast that she listened to while still in the womb, the Podguyz Podcast right now, just proving that when you have your babies listen to the Podguyz Podcast while still in the womb, they will be advanced enough to come out a month early. How about that?
Now, I was told that she was born with the Podguyz Podcast t-shirt.
Yeah,
Swaddled.
we got. Yep, yeah,
with the shirt itself.
She had all the swag. We even got her a tattoo on her forehead. It's the MS-13 gang. That way blends in. Get it on the knuckles.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
I guess things can't.
It was like kind of like the carrot on the stick. You put the t-shirt on the end of the stick, and she was like so anticipatory of coming out. She just jumped right out of the womb.
You're right. I rubbed the magic t-shirt over the belly, and the water broke.
That's what happened. I knew it.
Next thing you know, babies. This is how everybody knows how babies are born.
Yeah, of course. How babies are born all over the world.
Babies just weren't born before Podguyz Podcast merchandise.
We sell more to hospitals than we do regular people.
I know what you're thinking. Wow, you guys donate to hospitals? You heard Tony right. We sell more to hospitals. We charge them $10 instead of the normal $15 price.
Yeah. Insurance pricing.
All of the good stuff. So, Tony, what my week has been like. A lot of baby stuff going on. A lot of
we're going to share about that a little bit because
all that.
You know what? I feel like it's some great material. And of course, there's everything that happens in between. But I like to talk about the fact that and not that necessarily anti-Filipina anti-Filipina, of course. There's no matter where you go in the United States, there's always one Filipino or Filipina house worker. Somebody that works in either the kitchen, housekeeping, cleaning, whatever. There's always one solid Filipina woman that always shows up.
Yep. So yeah, and that did happen. Tony was there for witness of the occasion. He's there. We're hanging out. He brought flowers to the room, which was very thoughtful, very cool. Janiza loved the flowers. They smelled outstanding. I think he got them from Jerry's in Dixon City.
I did. Jerry's for all seasons. Yeah, you can catch them at a beautiful, Dunmore, Pennsylvania.
All of your arrangements that you wouldn't need, you get them from Jerry's in Dunmore, right?
Pennsylvania. Yeah,
Dunmore, Pennsylvania.
Jerry's for all seasons.
Yeah. So in pops the cleaning room lady, and my wife is from the Philippines originally. She is very smart, beautiful. Just all the boxes are checked on that. So here she pops in. I'm looking.
Can we set up a little bit of ambiance?
Okay.
So here it is, right? I walk in, flowers in hand. There's Janiza, all tuckered out from giving birth. Looking fresh as a daisy, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Like absolutely magnificent. Like nothing even happened. And there's Kevin. He's got like sweat on his forehead. He's all like ready for bed because of course he had little to no sleep that particular night.
Tony saw me after not shaving for hours, and he hasn't seen me like that in a long time. Earlier episodes of the Podguyz Podcast, you'll see me 5 o'clock shadow, 8 o'clock shadow, cigarette in my hand. But yeah. So me and Tony are bullshitting, and I brought up how World War II could have just been a misunderstanding.
Fair.
I'll leave it there because it's pretty offensive.
We had a messed up conversation.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden it breaks into there was a little bit of a Filipina like ambiance where we had talked about even not necessarily like how small a world it is, but as soon as the door opened and there was a knock on the door, and all we hear is housekeeping, taco. Burrito.
Yeah, thanks to Sparky repeating up a South Park and all that nice stuff. Every person from the Philippines reminds Tony of Jennifer Lopez's character from South
100%.
Park. Every 100%. Time. So yeah.
So there we are. Me and Kevin are looking at each other and we're like, oh God, here it comes. And Kevin's look to me was, how long is this going to break into Filipino talk for the amount of time that they're going to talk and what they're going to talk about for even back home, like how, what's going on, what's new in life. And it turns out that she was pretty close as far as the where of course your wife lives.
Yeah, the small world, but age gap difference definitely there. They had plenty to talk about. Solid hour. She was there to check up on little Amelia every time that she came to her the NICU unit and all that, and and it's a nice thing, because my wife is almost convinced that there aren't any people from the Philippines here, but there really are. They had a really genuine connection as well, though. It's kind of, and if you don't speak the language, imagine just, if you want for a moment, watch the movie Despicable Me and watch the minions talk to each other, because that's kind of what it's like, where they're like, taco, burrito.
And then while they're talking, Kevin's looking over at me, saying, giving me the head nod. And then I look over at him, give him the head nod. And of course, there they go for had to be about a half an hour by the time she actually left the first time.
Oh yeah, easy. Yeah.
Easily a half an hour into taco, burrito. Now, no, of course, no offense to the Filipino language. It's a beautiful dialect filled with many of the rolling of, of vowels. But it turned out to be a very intense moment. And it was like, oh, I'll take care of you. And then it was like the rubbing of the head. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh, you're beautiful. You have a beautiful baby.
I like how Tony just apologized to somebody who's never going to get the apology. The person who invented the language.
But it was a beautiful moment.
And by the way, that was such a sloppy apology of the language. You're like, oh, the rolling of vowels.
The rolling of vowels.
The letters, the numbers, probably. There's numbers there.
There might be a slight dialect of asterisk or whatever.
The reason Harvey Weinstein's in jail.
True. But it was a really beautiful moment. I was glad that I shared in it. And congratulations to Kevin. There it is.
Thank you, my man. Thank you so much.
Now, what happened to have happened at the out of all the places, Ronald McDonald House?
Oh, wow. Well, your brother came to visit at the Ronald McDonald House. They have such a nice setup there.
Shout out to Mike Kaz and the Dirty Soap podcast, of course.
Yeah. So Mike and Melissa came over with some gifts for little Amelia. Yep. And
you notice that the dad never gets anything too, by the way.
Well, what do I need?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
I don't need nothing.
Something, a coffee, like something,
I can make my own coffee,
Yeah.
I got.
You're in the communal pot, so to speak, at the hospital. So.
Hey, as long as
where they're eyeing you up and down, thinking that you're stealing sugars and creamers.
I was stealing sugars and creamers.
I know.
I stole a lot. That room does not have a mattress in it anymore. I'm sorry.
Zero. No more pillows, no more mattress. Gone.
So there was me and your brother were bullshitting for a little bit, and sure. It just came down to it where there's a woman at the door, and she's knocking at the door, doing her thing, and I'm looking over. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, dude? I mean, like a hard 2.5 minutes of ignoring it and pretending she doesn't exist is going on. So after another 2.5 minutes, I get up and I'm like, what can I help you with? Right. Because I don't even know. Maybe she.
What the hell is going on at the Ronald McDonald House?
Maybe she lost her key or something to that degree. I don't know. I just want to figure it out because it's now a really, it's a distraction. We get over to the door and she's got an iPhone 16. She's like, oh, when I was a kid, Ronald McDonald House really helped me out. And I said, that's amazing. That's great. Good for you. What's up? She's like, yeah. So anyways, I was wondering if I could come in and they could help me with my phone. I need to get my phone, registered. It's an iPhone 16. And then she gets into it by saying, I just got released from the hospital. And now
there it is.
Now, Tony, I'm new to healthcare and the welfare system involved into it or whatever.
What
do they do? Did they just say, hey, you're discharged from the hospital. Here's an iPhone 16. The fuck does that happen? That doesn't happen.
The hospital that happens to be right next to the Ronald McDonald House is the psych ward, by the way.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So she looked the part, which is great, But yeah, brand new iPhone 16. I guess the psych ward's giving them out. So, hey, shout out to Steve Jobs on that one. So the dude that was running or supervising the house or whatever, he came down and took over. I was like, hey man, he's like, oh no, this happens from time to time. Maybe she thinks that we can do something for her. And there's it's a tricky part of the neighborhood right around there.
That is a very shady part of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's what they classify as the hill section of Scranton.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. Like people are breathing the same air I am.
True. But Sparky has a wonderful picture, by the way. Sparky, I did have to mute you because of a little bit of a feedback, but if you want to unmute yourself, go for it and pop your picture up there. And explain your work, fine sir. Explain your work.
Yeah, Sparky's having trouble with buttons there, Tony.
Nope,
oh, wait, no, he did it. He did it.
All right, you're good, Spark. Go.
Better now? No feedback?
No feedback.
Well, we'll see.
Anyway.
Flip your board around. Come on.
Flip it around. Kevin, get in here and take off the wig. Oh, okay. What? No ice cream? Okay.
Want a burger? What? No ice cream?
So Sparky's idea of the Ronald McDonald house is a large pink house where Ronald McDonald actually lives, offers me burgers, and I want ice cream, but the ice cream machine is broken
all the time. Yeah.
For our non-viewing audience out there, even for our viewing audience out there, that might need a shortcut on this one. I'm pretty sure that's what it is there.
See, they do have
no, Kevin, you're wearing
house
and selling burgers.
I'm wearing the wig and selling burgers. Okay. And somebody's yelling out the window, Kevin, get in here and take off the wig. I'm guessing that'd be Janiza yelling, right?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
That's an excellent picture, by the way.
Okay, so I'm answering the door as Ronald McDonald to the mental patient that's even funnier now.
Even better.
The mental patient fucking is knocking on the door. I answer dressed up like Ronald McDonald. And Janice is yelling down for me to take off the wig. So that way, yeah, that's great. And the mental patient, of course, wants ice cream, which me telling them that the ice cream machine is broken will drive them further into madness.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing right there.
Yeah, it's a great thing there, Sparky. Good job.
Speaking of Ronald McDonald, we've had a great set of topic stories this week, man.
Oh my God.
Crazy amount of topic stories.
So
and one of our topic stories this week was actually mascot madness. Pick 4 to protect you, and the rest will try to kill you.
My God.
Mascot madness.
Mascot madness.
So I did post a post, of course, and it says the pick 4 to protect you, the rest will try to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go over the 20 on or 4, 8, 12, 16 on the list. 16 on the list, of course. Starting with the great old Kool-Aid Man.
Kool-Aid Man. Now everybody was picking the Kool-Aid Man, all right? Tons of people were.
Yeah.
We have
number 2, of course, Kevin dressed up in the red wig.
Ronald McDonald. Ronald McDonald is number 2.
McDonald.
Third one, moving along with it, Chef Boyardee. The fourth one, the owl. Remember the owl from the
Tootsie Pop commercial?
Yeah. Then you got Jack from Jack in the Box, Wendy from Wendy's, King from Burger King, Chester from the Cheetos thing. He's Colonel Sanders from KFC, Green Giant, Little Caesar. I'm not sure what
the
Noid. The Noid. Avoid the Noid. Okay.
Yeah, from Domino's.
Oh, wow. What a failed campaign that was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. The that big boy, Big Bob's big boy. Yeah. Then the Planter Peanut guy, the mouse from fucking
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, Chucky from Chuck E. Cheese, and Pillsbury Doughboy.
Oh yeah. Now, we're going to make this move around the room. We're going to make it quick. Kevin, do you have 4 answers already picked out For the 4 that would protect you and the rest trying to kill you, who would you pick to be your saviors?
Well, let's go one at a time. All right. You can't double pick or whatever. You just can't double pick. My first pick right off the rip, Tony.
Ooh.
Pillsbury Doughboy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This man is evil. He is an evil, evil man. Doughboy. Very evil. Think of it like this. In every commercial, Sparky, think about it. I see you shaking your head. I know. It's getting there, dude. In every commercial, the Pillsbury Doughboy wants you to do what, Sparky?
Get in the oven.
Exactly.
He wants.
Huh? Well, no, they're poking his belly. He's having a good time. He's like, woohoo! Woohoo! But in the meantime, he's helping you cook his fucking family. If we're going to war, that's a person I want on my side. I don't want to fight this guy. I'm going Pillsbury Doughboy with my first pick. Tony, who do you got? Pillsbury Doughboy is off the board, by the way.
My fan favorite, and I think it was pretty unanimous for the Colonel. Colonel. Now, not necessarily that the Colonel would have been my first choice as far as the top 4, but why he was my second choice was a big one.
Colonel was my second choice.
He was your second choice?
Yeah. You need a racist in your army to fight. Just remember that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
the original Colonel was
that didn't help with the Confederacy.
And he also pulled guns on people for when they messed around with his advertising campaigns back in the time that he was doing it.
Oh, wow.
So he's gatting.
So you got the Colonel. Colonel is off the board. Sparky, onward we go.
I'm going to take the Green Giant.
Okay, all right. So it's good to have a giant on board. So I'm taking. We'll recap first round. I'm taking the Pillsbury Doughboy that did some genocidal burning of dough to his own people. And Tony said it was okay to pick a racist when you're going to war. Didn't work out for the Confederacy, but that's okay. Still has them. And Sparky just went medieval on our asses and picked a fucking giant. Okay, great. Round 2. I'll start off unless we're going serpentine. Actually, yeah, why not? Sparky, pick again.
Sparky serpentating around for
I'm going to take the Peanut Man.
Ooh, that's an interesting
Peanut Man's
pick
a good
there.
pickup.
Why the Peanut Man?
With all the peanut allergies going around now these days, you could wipe out a ton of people.
You could wipe out 1%.
I thought of something totally different, that he could take his shell off and shiv it into, various weapons.
I'm just going by the allergy. There's people that can't even touch peanuts without dying, so.
This is true. You could, play your odds on that one.
That's a big one. That's a really big one.
Tony.
All right, I'm going with the Little Caesars pizza guy.
Okay. So we're going Caesar.
You go with Julius Caesar?
I'm going with Julius Caesar, the pizza guy, just because he's got a spear.
He does have a spear. I'm gonna go with the.
Nobody messes with the Roman army.
No, they do. They did.
They do and did.
How'd
that work out for them?
It did. It evolved.
It did something.
I'm going with Ronald McDonald.
Ronald McDonald.
The reason I'm going with Ronald McDonald is Sparky, Sparky, you stepped into the whole I'm waiting for a peanut allergy. Everyone's allergic to high cholesterol burgers. So,
And who likes clowns? Nobody.
I mean, nobody likes a clown. I was between him and the owl.
Now, even back in the day, the original Ronald McDonald actually looked like John Wayne Gacy, even comparative to his new user-friendly clown makeup that he does nowadays.
He did, he did look like John Wayne Gacy, that's for sure. It's just, yeah. Nobody ever thinks it's the guy with that dressed up like a clown, right?
Sure. Who are you taking as your back-to-back for number 4?
Okay, so we got the Pillsbury Doughboy. You got Ronald McDonald just not giving a fuck with the food.
Are you taking the Kool-Aid Man for protection?
No, I'm going with the owl. Listen, the owl.
Okay.
Yeah. They say it's as easy as taking candy from a baby. Well, this owl, your regular bird, he's got, he's smart because he's got one of those fucking graduation hats on, right?
He does.
Yeah. He took a lollipop away from a kid and looked him in the eye and ate his fucking, Tootsie Roll Pop.
Yeah.
It was a turtle, actually. It wasn't the owl, but who's reminiscing on the commercial?
I thought it was 1, 2, 3, and then boom, the owl. That was the turtle.
No, that was the owl.
I thought that was the owl.
It was the turtle.
Yeah, the owl did the 1, 2, 3 bite.
Turtle.
Okay. Oh my God.
Anyways.
Taking the owl on this one.
Taking the owl for that one.
That you need to rewatch the commercial.
It's on Tony anyway.
With my number 4. Out of the remaining, I'm going to take the Noid.
The Noid. Avoid the Noid.
Avoid the Noid. He was the Domino's secret agent. He's got a useful amount of tools that he used, like Inspector Gadget. And I feel like that would be very useful as far as defense.
Yeah, the Noid just
and he's crazy.
The last time I saw the Noid was on Family Guy. There were no survivors.
No survivors, yeah. Sparky, what are you doing for your number 4, sir?
I got to do 3 and 4 still.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, number 3, I'm going to take the Burger King.
Burger King.
Because, he's got a flame broiler, and he must have some kind of
Sparky, real quick, buddy. I need to interrupt you immediately.
It's the owl, sir.
You fucking whack job.
I thought was it the owl or the turtle that did it? I can't.
1, 2.
Look at that.
So it was the owl.
Look at that.
Because that's right. The turtle was too old to do it.
Yep, there you go.
That's
turtle was too old to do it.
So the owl did it.
The owl beat him to the punch.
The owl would not be highlighted if he just didn't do something ruthless and fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
To a child's candy. This is a guy I need on my side.
Yeah.
If we're fighting everybody.
Okay, Sparky, what's your 3, 4?
So 3 was the Burger King. Yeah, because he has a flame broiler and he has an army because he's a king. So, And then number 4 is going to be the Chester Cheeto.
Chester Cheetah.
Okay.
Because you have some kind of like wild animal, I think people are going to run from that thing.
Tony, what do you got?
My number 4 is going to be the best defensive player on the game, Kool-Aid Man. Oh, yeah.
Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah.
You're telling me a glass pitcher full of red punch is a good defensive player.
Hey man, that's got to be some unbreakable glass. He's going through bricks all the time.
He's going through brick walls.
And what else you got, Tony?
That's it. He did his 4.
That's my number 4.
Okay,
I had number 1 as the Colonel, number 2 as Little Caesars, number 3 the Noid, and number 4, oh yeah, Kool-Aid Man.
Here comes my last pick right here, and it is Chuck E. Cheese.
Yo, that thing is scary.
The reasoning for it is not because of actually Chuck E. Cheese, but the person wearing the costume is ruthless and on their last dime. So they...
You know that you've hit rock bottom once you put on the costume.
Normally, yeah. I need somebody like that, Sparky, what are you gonna say?
It's the dancing. It's the dancing.
I was gonna say, too bad you didn't have the 4 characters from Five Nights at Freddy's. I would have taken all 4 of them.
Oh god, yeah.
That would have been the thing. Well, since it is today, out of all days, Revenge of the 5th. Star Wars Day was yesterday. Revenge of the 5th today.
Cinco de Mayo also. Celebration of
Also
mayonnaise.
Cinco de Mayo. But I feel like it's a good time to talk about some Star Wars.
Okay.
Not bad, right? Yeah.
I love myself a good Star Wars chat.
So, Star Wars in general has come out with their they have a primetime show that they have on Disney Plus right now. It's a three-part miniseries to put out just for this particular week, and it was Andor season 2.
The last season.
2. I'm sorry?
This is gonna be the last season.
Last season, but it's the first 3 episodes of that particular season.
And what's the show about?
So it's about Andor, and of course, what's his name? There he is, Cassian Andor. No, Cassian Andor was a pilot and a rebel,
A spy slash
Rebel
mercenary slash, an assassin also. Spy, mercenary, assassin, more or less.
So like an everyman character.
Yeah, he's an everyman character. Yeah, very much. And in the 3-part series, it shows what he did for the Alliance, and of course, like from start to finish. I think what's the actual like placing of it in the hierarchy?
This is before A New Hope. This is did you ever see the movie Rogue One?
Yeah.
This is a couple months before Rogue One now this season.
Okay.
Yes.
So it goes in that hierarchy, like towards the middle of the Star Wars universe in general.
Between episode 3 and episode 4, yes. Between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, it falls in that.
Now, of course, they have multiple, and I really mean multiple, Star Wars events going all the way across the board, from like video games to animation to handheld consoles, little mini series. They have a ton of different stuff going on for Star Wars for this week in general. Now, as per the Star Wars community on Reddit, there are 18 official, non-official movies slash miniseries slash animation slash movies to go out into the big theater as well. And of course, that started with Andor. That's going to move into what they classify as Star Wars Maul, Shadow Lord. Into the next
the story of Darth Maul.
The story of Darth Maul, correct. The third one is Tales of the Underworld.
Why won't they have a Jar Jar Binks solo movie?
Because he's not that unique a character.
Come on now.
The Underworld is going to be about bounty hunters and stuff. That's what the Underworld is going to be about.
Yeah, huge. And now that's going to be animated, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes, I think that one's animated.
Yeah, that one.
So I got a better idea for Star Wars. Now, hear me out. You've seen the movie Top Gun? Do Top Gun only with X-Wing fighters. There you go.
We're going to do that.
We're going to do it.
I mean, Rogue Squadron's probably going to be that one.
Yeah. So how about this? Instead of naming Star Wars movies, right, we're going to name the movie that it actually is, because you already know, Tony, there is no creativity that is involved with Disney at all.
At all.
Okay? So we know Rogue One equals Star Wars version.
Squadron.
Rogue Squadron. Thank you, Sparky. Rogue Squadron is Star Wars Top Gun. Okay,
yes,
great.
Correct.
Where's the list there, Tony? Where's the list? I'm trying to look through the Podguyz Podcast on the Facebook
It's
fan
on my
page.
page, but
okay. Well, I mean, that might be nice to just pop it on the group page there, Tony. What the hell?
Well, I just did there, Hot Pants.
All right, Hot Pants.
You can get it.
All right.
You
All
can
right,
get it right now.
I got it. Andor. Okay, so who is Andor? What is Andor basically a movie?
So
of?
Cassian Andor was the protagonist.
The Star Wars version of Mission Impossible.
Thank you. There you go. Sparky's getting it. No problem. So Mission Impossible, but Star Wars, right?
I want to say more John Wick.
Okay.
Mission Impossible because he's doing missions for the Rebel Alliance.
I got one for you. I got one for you. Maul, right? Maul.
Yep.
Maul is the Joker, but Star Wars.
Yes.
Oh, good call.
There you go.
Good call. Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, Tony, you do one.
Okay. Tales of the Underworld. That is definitely. You got to think of something that's like, not to say it's the worst of the worst people that get together.
The Hateful Eight.
Expendables.
The Hateful Eight, Tony.
Hateful Eight.
Yes, the
that might be a pretty
movie
good assumption.
All right, I got one. A Droid Story is just the Minion solo movie, but Star Wars.
But Star Wars.
I'm trying to figure out what Lando is, because Lando is kind of like
Lando is Lando Calrissian.
No, I understand what that is.
Yeah.
I think Lando, though, is like the only black character in fucking Seinfeld. You know, Jackie Childs, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's the only black character we were introduced to in the whole entire universe of Star Wars. So
that's Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Samuel L. Jackson movie.
Oh, no. Hold on. In Pursuit of Happiness.
Nick's on a plane.
Wait a second. Lando is Bagger Vance, but Star Wars. It's fucking Will Smith's Bagger Vance. Oh my God. Starfighter, New Jedi Order is, come on now, Special Victims Unit, Star Wars.
Ooh, good call. That even has the same font as well.
It really does, dude. They're not doing anything new here. Bum bum bow bow bow.
Now the funny one, right?
The New Jedi Order to be episode 10.
Oh my God.
No, technically, there's supposed to be new
Mandalorian and Grogu. Okay, Mandalorian and Grogu is Kung Fu, the new series, the new adventures.
No, it's
of
the
Kung
Karate
Fu.
Kid.
Okay,
Karate Kid.
I'll take it. Yeah, Karate Kid. Okay, great.
Yeah.
But Star Wars.
But Star Wars, yeah. We're gonna teach you the way.
Dude, this is exactly what they do to recreate this kind of stuff. They're like,
100%.
all right, guys.
100%.
I just watched a show last night called Law and Order. But what if we did this? Law and Order, but Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Now, tell me if this is right or not right. The last 5 movies on this list: Star Wars, Taika Waititi's movie, Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie,
Okay.
Simon Kinberg's trilogy, Dillard and Owen's Star Wars project, and Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy all remind me of The Croods.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a movie that comes out just to fill time and space and to be a cash grab for anyone.
Here's one for you. The Ninth Jedi. So this one is easy. The Sixth Sense, only Star Wars. Yeah.
What was that movie that the dude that was in Mission Impossible?
Tom Cruise.
No, Tom Cruise, yeah.
Tom Cruise's movie about being a samurai.
Oh, The Last Samurai.
Ronin
The Last
47.
Samurai. Okay. That's the Ninth Jedi right there.
Okay. All right. Rogue
What?
Squadron.
I guess what a time to be a Star Wars nerd, I guess. You know?
Oh man, this is packed full of crap right here. You know, this is like packing the family car for a vacation, only you're bringing the carpet too because you don't trust the neighbors.
But a lot of that stuff is going to be on. Most of that is going to be on Disney Plus. The only movies you're really going to see is Rogue Squadron and then the trilogies by by the other guys.
Sparky, do you know anything about these Simon Kingberg Star Wars trilogy, Diller? What's going on with that? Is everybody just doing their own take on it?
Well, the New Jedi Order is one of the movies that's related to one of the trilogies. That's going to be Rey rebuilding the Jedi Order. That's how that's going to tie in. But the other trilogies, I don't know what they're planning on doing yet, because the Grogu and Mandalorian movie is going to close up all those TV shows that were on Disney Plus. Ahsoka Tano, the Mandalorian, what other show? Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, and the other. But there's 4 shows.
I mean, with the close of Andor, and then the close of
No. Andor's already closed. Andor closes because these movies take place after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
That the Mandalorian and Grogu takes place after Return of the Jedi. But that's going to tie up all those series, because that's Grand Admiral Thrawn is the main villain. Him,
okay,
the Death Troopers, the Night Sisters, and this is before the start of the First Order.
That's when they get into the magic and the lore and like the old Republic Jedis and.
Well, no, the other trilogy they're talking about is going to be the Old Republic, 1,000 years into the past, which ought to be, which is going to be amazing because somebody was talking about scenes of maybe we can make scenes where there's 20 Jedi fighting 20 Sith and lightsaber battles at one time and stuff like that. There's talks of that happening.
That always feels kind of lame. I mean, there's more of a personalized intensity when you're having just one-on-one sword, like lightsaber on lightsaber sort of thing. My opinion, there's like when Vader, classic example, Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? These guys have history. Without being too specific on what kind of history, if we knew the backstory, we'd be rooting for Darth Vader at this moment, okay? Because Obi-Wan did that shit to him. He fucked him up.
Yeah.
So instead of George Lucas showing what a lightsaber could do, they ran low on budget. It left even more mystery to the idea when Vader's got
Obi-Wan Kenobi series, Kevin.
I could just assume that it's basically kung fu only Star Wars.
Watch the last episode, because there actually is another lightsaber battle between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, and it's actually one of those scenes that actually shows Obi-Wan Kenobi's PSTD and everything.
Oh, PTSD, yeah.
Yeah, it does show how bad he's.
Now everybody has to forgive Sparky because he has not only dyslexia but PTSD.
Yeah.
About his dyslexia.
No, but that whatchamacallit. Yeah. So, yeah, just Google it. Just Google Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber battle. And you can see the second one. It's on YouTube already, and you'll see how.
Because a lot of regret going on. I guess, and I get it. They had to make everybody really hate Anakin Skywalker. So they're like, how could we make everybody hate this guy? And they're like, just have him kill a bunch of kids.
I mean, in between the incest, the child molestation, the weird spaghetti western that it is, I mean, there's a long list, and I mean a very long list of like even Padme, who was very much in her 20s. Loving a child.
He was 24, he was 19. Get it right.
No. Even when she was in her teens and he was still a kid doing pod
14,
racing.
He was 9. Do the math. It's not like we're doing P. Diddy Aaliyah math here.
Well, that's what I was getting into here. It's still quite a bit.
Yeah, it's only 5 years. It's not like it was
Sparky, how old was Aaliyah? What was the age difference there, Tony?
I don't know. That's an interesting question.
12 years, I think it was the difference.
Is that what it was?
Was it 12 years or was it 13 years? Because he was, what, 28 when he got married and she was 15?
God, that's, yeah.
Yeah. Any hoozy.
I think that's how old he was. In that range.
Any hoozy. I think it's it's great that a fictional movie, can bring people together every single year. And there's no other movie that you can think of that gets categorically known every single year to have its own fabled holiday.
And if you're watching TV yesterday, you could find Star Wars on a couple different channels.
100%.
I could make argument for something having terrible sequels, but a good original 3 core.
Christmas Story.
No, but I'm just saying in general, like that. I don't think that there's a movie sequence, movie series, movie knowledge that has encompassed, even across the world, to have its own specific day as a holiday. You can't name one.
Fast and the Furious franchise.
Where's the Fast and Furious day?
Yeah. What was its day? Does it have a certain day? Star Wars has been before.
It doesn't just have its own day, Sparky. It has its own
every
grade.
day.
It has its own grade of fuel.
It's because it's family.
Vin Diesel. $4.29 a gallon.
Yeah. You never mess with family.
Paul Walker's birthday is their day.
Not a holiday.
The Rock.
Not a holiday.
Sadly, not a holiday.
People have fan theory about it as well.
Hey, speaking of gorillas, right?
All the sequels are terrible. I'm just throwing it out there, man.
Speaking of gorillas, okay, Kevin, you have seen the clips. You have seen the allocated huge tenacity across the web as far as what has been talked about. 100 men versus a gorilla.
Yeah, so the big thing right now is that many people have sided with humanity saying that 100 men could kill one gorilla. No guns, no knives, just straight up go at them.
Barehanded.
Barehanded, just there you go, right at them. And I also feel it's doable.
Wow. I want to go into your mentality as to how this could happen. And now necessarily hasn't been broken down. It's been broken down across the web right now as far as how do you, as man, confront this gorilla who's going to be attacked. They talked about pressure. They talked about the amazing grip strength, the power and tenacity of even a full-blown silverback gorilla, let's say.
Well, Tony, there's only one real answer. We don't even need 100 men to kill the gorilla. Have you heard of a man named Chuck Norris? He's still alive.
Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true.
It'll take one Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris can shoot down a plane with a knife. Just remember that.
That's true.
Chuck Norris
has done that.
He pulls the earth to his chest. Chuck Norris went to the Virgin Islands for his birthday. He came home. They were just known as the Islands.
Like, okay.
When somebody keep going.
Listen, if
Chuck Norris doesn't teabag, he potato sacks.
If I took like Bruce Lee and I'm like, hey, Bruce Lee, fucking kill that gorilla over there. And he was like, whoop, boom, like it hit him in that spot, that dead spot or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
Then the gorilla's dead. They're talking about 100 untrained, just warm bodies out there.
Weak humans.
Yeah, so why can't we also assume that the gorilla is also flimsy and whatever, just whatever? If you take the most skilled fighting human out there in the whole entire world and put that and times that person by 100, you had 100 Chuck Norrises or even 50 Chuck Norrises and 50 Bruce Lees to take on one gorilla, dude, you're talking 10 seconds right there. That gorilla's fucking dead.
Kids look underneath the bed for the boogeyman. The boogeyman looks for Chuck Norris under his bed.
You see what I mean? And so do gorillas, man. No joke.
I once saw Chuck Norris roundhouse a quarter into 2 dimes and a nickel.
See, I feel like we need a fourth person in here. I'm gonna try to
Where's
get
Chuck Norris at?
Mike. I'm gonna try to get Mike in here.
Why? Do you think that Mike can bring up examples of how the gorilla would win? Tony, defend your ground. Do you think that a gorilla could beat up Chuck Norris?
So officially, the grip strength of let's say even a normal, everyday gorilla, could crush a human skull. It's got enough grip strength to just pull a skull right into its hands. So with that in mind, I mean, the gorilla is probably going to rip a couple people apart. I'm going to say probably into the 20s or 30s, if not the 40s, by the time it actually gets a little bit winded and has to take a second charge at it. 50 plus.
Yeah, but gorillas aren't that smart. You could trick them with a banana. You'd be like, there you go. Here's a banana. He'll start eating the banana, having a good time, combing his hair and shit. And then you fucking...
No, we're not talking cartoon strength. Cartoon strength gorilla. But if you do, and I mean, he's going to slip on the banana peel. You know, what kind of things are you thinking of here? Because 100 men versus a gorilla, in reality, would get tore up.
What I'm saying is that the 100 men we're assuming would want to fight a gorilla while also not knowing how to fight. And we're also assuming you're talking about a gorilla that is already pumped up, ready to fuck, and King Kong sized or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're skewing the stats over to the gorilla no matter what, and then these 100 guys just have 3 beers in them and eat potatoes all day, and then just fucking roll around and shit.
Yeah, like, they would get baseball fisted. Like,
yeah, dude, if you're talking about just like a bunch of guys that hang out at the VFW and they're all like, hey, let's beat the shit out of the gorilla at the zoo, let him out.
So you're putting a skew on the other end. You're thinking, 100 fully grown men, fully roided out, ready to fight and fuck.
No, man, I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now.
Skinny mountain
Do you want to win the fight? Do you want to win the fight? If the gorilla's putting up their best, say all the gorillas are like, fuck, this is our best gorilla to put in there against their 100 guys. We're not going to put up some 100 schmucks in there to play fuck around time with the gorilla and get killed. Of course,
yeah.
You know, this is humanity. There is a reason why these gorillas live behind bars at zoos and they're in fucking jungles or wherever the hell they're living, and we're up there in skyscrapers hanging out doing shit. There's a reason for that. Because
just remember, Kevin.
Yeah.
Just remember, Kevin. Chuck Norris does know Victoria's Secret.
Perfect example there, Tony. And everybody hates it. I just brought up Chuck Norris, the folk legend. Mike Tyson could punch a gorilla in the face and the gorilla would fucking cry.
I once saw Chuck Norris count to infinity twice.
Now, the only man to put this to test, of course, is Mr. Beast. And even though he adamantly says, all right, let's get 100 people together to do this, I don't think that there would be enough money on the table in order to be like, let's actually make this possible.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Mr. Beast, he just feels like a guy that never had a lot of friends or something. I don't know what's going on with him. He's just
Poor
weird.
Jimmy.
He's a weird fella. You know?
Jimmy's a very, very nice kid, very nice guy. I feel like not to say his message has been askewed over the past few years, and especially because he's very, very giving with the amount of money that he has taken in every year. So let's say he makes $20 million a year, and he makes $10 million in just the making of the videos themselves. I mean, he's still got another 10 million to go.
Well, bigger story than a gorilla, well, you can get the most docile gorilla too, and he just gets beat the shit out of by like average whatever guys,
Sure.
Sean Diddy Combs' trial is expected to last at least 8 weeks. Sparky, we have word that you have been selected as juror number 3.
That is true, by the way.
The rest of the jury is going to be selected up until May 12th.
Sparky, you are urged to bring your swimwear because it's gonna get a little slippery in there.
Yeah, you might be invited to one of those parties, the Diddy parties, where you need like 9 buckets of baby oil.
Now the Diddy trial begins as potential jurors were asked if they are familiar with Michael B. Jordan, Kanye West, Kid Cudi, Mike Myers, and more celebrities, believe it or not.
Oh God, you are just gonna have. This feels like listen. This just feels like they're gonna find some old people with inherent racism involved with them, and
Huge,
like,
huge. So 100, and they already pulled out 150 potential jurors, and the jurors were asked to fill out a questionnaire that gauged their knowledge of Combs, their views on law enforcement, whether they have experienced a sexual assault, and more. Now, they're also given a list of at least 190 people, including celebrities and public figures, and asked to indicate which names they recognize.
Yeah, among those names, Tony, were Michael B. Jordan, Kanye West, Mike Myers, and now not Mike Myers, like the Halloween or whatever.
Yes.
Mike Myers. Exactly. Kid Cudi. It's unclear in my belly. It's unclear how the names on the list relate to the Combs trial. Yeah, honestly, Mike Myers. If at all, Combs is known to have hosted big Hollywood parties and was well connected among celebrities. Prosecutors believe that Kid Cudi, for one, is the victim of a car bombing committed by Combs in 2011. During that time, the Pursuit of Happiness rapper, holy fuck, was romantically involved with Combs' longtime ex-girlfriend Cassandra Cassie Ventura, the star witness of the federal trial. A source familiar with the case indicates to Variety that Jordan will not be a witness. The actor went on a date with Ventura in 2015, and Combs was said to be upset about it. He was upset. So upset, he car bombed him, allegedly. Car bombed him, Tony. What a car bomber. Other names listed include Destiny's Child singer Michelle Williams. Wow, no one knows what the hell happened to her. Actor Lauren London, singer Dawn Richard, singer producer Dallas Austin, and many of Combs' family members. A surprising number of potential jurors indicated that they were not familiar with any of those names. As am I not familiar with any of those names. Get me on that jury. Combs' trial is expected to last at least 8 weeks. Jury selection will take place until May 12th, which is when opening arguments will likely occur. Now, the evidence, Tony, the evidence. They're going to be showing the jury a lot of dildos, okay?
Hundreds of dildos.
Hundreds of dildos, pumps, sex toys, baby
lubes,
oil.
rubs, spices.
just baby oil container after baby oil container, CD fucking VHS tapes. You know, probably one of those old, you ever see those wheel fucking tapes? Probably some like wheel fucking tape shit, you know, from like 1960 something, where P. Diddy says, "Oh, I want to shoot an old fashioned porno like this." The majority said they have received sexual harassment training as mandated by their employees, and many said they had seen the hotel surveillance video obtained by CNN that allegedly shows Combs physically assaulting Ventura. CNN's copy of the video will not be used as evidence in the trial, but it's possible the original footage will be discussed or shown. Well, that doesn't feel transparent. That's not fair.
That doesn't feel right. Yeah.
No. You can't just say, we're not going to use this as evidence. Anyways, guys.
Well, we're going to talk about it.
Check this shit out. We're not using it as evidence. You can't use this against him at all. But, it would, oh my God, that's not fair. I would throw that out. Just, one potential juror is a photo producer at HBO who has worked on series including The White Lotus, The Last of Us. Her employment at the Caliber caused concern among the defense as a negative dossier. Whatever.
I was going to say, how could that person be?
Yeah, that doesn't sound fair either.
No.
Like, guys, we're very impartial. I don't really care about, P. Diddy being released or not being released, but the guy deserves a fair trial. Yeah. I mean, I would say give him a fair shake or whatever, but he's probably got some goddamn baby lotion on his hand. Your hand will fucking slip off and.
Yeah, you're playing literature slip and slide.
I like how they're just playing like potential here. One potential juror sparked laughs from the press area when she was lightly grilled on a shoplifting incident when she was 16 years old. Each person was required to disclose whether they have been convicted of a crime. The juror said she stole an item from the wizarding world of Harry Potter at Universal Studios in Hollywood, which is, as we know, worse than what P. Diddy has ever done.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, way to go. You really messed it up.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of give her credit because she made something from the Harry Potter world disappear. So she might be a wizard. She might be a wizard, Harry.
She's a wizard, Harry.
Where's that fucking owl to come bite some lollipops and shit, you know? She was fined and prevented from returning to the amusement park for 1 year. Oh, man, talk about saving money. Answer.
Yeah, I was going to say, she saved a lot of money.
God almighty. Combs is facing 5 counts, including 1 for racketeering, 2 for sex trafficking, and 2 for transportation to engage in prostitution. If he's convicted on any or all counts, Combs could spend the rest of his life in prison. Since 2023, the music mogul has been hit with more than 70 civil lawsuits accusing him of sexual misconduct, ranging from rape to sexual trafficking. Those lawsuits are separate from the federal trial, okay? Which will likely feature testimony from high-profile figures such as Ventura. This is, by the way, this is why it is not going to be televised. Federal trials are not televised at all. OJ was televised because that was a state thing.
That was a state, yes.
Correct. His civil trial was not televised, but his criminal state trial was televised.
Well, the civil trial didn't get televised because there was something involved with, it was a strange thing of how the reason why it wasn't televised. It was a weird thing.
Yeah, most civil trials are not televised, Sparky. State of California doesn't do it.
Well, P. Diddy definitely says that everything was consensual, and he's insisted that all of these sexual activities.
Wait till you see how many people turn on him, though. Especially the federal government is gonna bring up RICO charges against a whole bunch of different people. Everybody's gonna be singing fast.
I really like the comments here. Imagine being Chelsea Rose Sturvant says, imagine being on that jury. It's going to be really hard to select a jury that doesn't know much about the diddler.
That's true.
Oh my God. Oh, so many celebrities should be going down as well. About time, says Korea Baldwin. Let's see what Korea Baldwin. Oh my God, something's going on with her. Anyways,
Yeah, you're going to see RICO charges brought up against a lot of celebrities.
you might. I mean, you see, this is how they get more celebrities along the way. Somebody's going to cut a deal, and Diddy did not snitch on anybody, so he's the last one to kind of, be. He's the last potato that he's playing hot potato.
He's the hot potato.
Yeah. And, when it comes to Hollywood orgies, anyone should know what's going on. Okay. I would say that if there was one instance of non-consent, the person should have been flailing and screaming and trying to escape so hard.
Yeah. No, that's true.
I'm not buying into the peer pressure counts as whatever. I'm just not. I'm not buying into it. But I think that P. Diddy used his celebrity influence to hook up with.
Here's the next fun question, though.
Yeah.
While this trial is going on, like the other people that are gathering evidence for the other trials could actually be, almost releasing evidence saying, hey, this is what's going on here in this trial for what he's, you know what I'm saying? Like the charges and everything. They could say, hey, he's going to get charged with this and this and this and this, and all the federal. So it could turn into a circus real fast because what could happen is if all that is going on, there's a chance that the federal government could actually go down to the lower courts and say, hey, can you pull, some of this evidence up? We could bring some of this up for this, because in some cases, some of that's all going to tie in together. Because I think in the other trials, I think there's narcotics charges, gun charges, everything. So it could all get tied. It could, go down and it can get wild.
If I was P. Diddy,
involved.
The only lawyer to get in this exact instance would be Joe Pesci wearing a wig, My Cousin Vinny. It's the only way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. It should be quite the spectacle, of course, from Hollywood's finest to.
So you're saying you saw my client at the Sack of Suds buying all of the baby oil?
All of them, everything in the whole.
There
he is pulling the handles.
I like Cat Stevens' take on the baby oil thing, right? He says he's like, we all got one jar of baby oil ever, and then you go to your mom's house, your dad's house. 40 years later, you got that same jar of baby oil. Nobody goes through more than one thing.
I heard the baby oil was passed around more than Cassie was.
Oh, God. All right. Oh, here we oh, God.
We got enough time for one more story. Come on.
One more story. All right. What do you got, Tom? What do you got?
We'll end it up with our buddy Bill Belichick.
God, hold on now. Porn titled
What? Who cares?
Did you do me in trouble for appropriating
Australian Aboriginal community?
I don't think so. Yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Bill Belichick back in the news about
cradle robbing.
Oh,
cradle robbing is the correct term for it, but him and his lovely girlfriend, of course, are back in the news because they were interviewed lately.
But anyways,
Well, they were interviewed, and it was a fantastic interview that they had together. And in the interview, she kind of interrupts and says that
She stopped the interview.
yeah, she stopped the interview.
When they asked, so how did you two meet? And she goes, oh, we're not going down that path.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was over.
Which is really funny because it's a trade secret of how they actually met, even though I think she was a cheerleader or something like that. But she also did something with finance and business management as well.
I think Gronkowski invited Belichick to a kegger, and he's like, "All right,
Bill,
Gronk.
Hey, Bill, you want to go and drink?"
He's like, Bill, whatever you do, just when you're doing a keg stand, first girl you look at, don't fall in love. Okay?
Keg stand and fuck.
Yo, dude does a keg stand. He's just like, you know, there she is. She's
There's
ready.
the love of my life. Hey, girl.
He's like, I'm like 70. And she's like, oh, wow. You know, she's like, oh, my last boyfriend was 83. You're a young guy compared to him.
And by the way, he was.
Yeah.
He was 83. And he was a multimillionaire in the
You think they ever got into some fights because when he's fucking her, he calls her Tom instead?
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, Tom. Yo, do you know what? You know why Bill Belichick is fucking her? Because that's as close as he can get to a goat. There's a girl named Jordan, you know.
Now there's a lot of controversy about her now taking over his movie rights because they're going to come out with a movie about Bill Belichick and his life in general.
Yeah, I mean, she's a
Well, she is his de facto. She's his de facto agent over the past few months. She's acting as his agent. But he has that book coming out.
Now, she also took, I think it was it $3 million in $3 to $8 million or something like that in real estate.
Yeah, no, she reminds me of a much more sophisticated version of Anna Nicole Smith. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's cut to it.
Who I seen her daughter today in a video, and she's just as special as her mom was.
I bet. Very special.
Okay, here we go. Here's what it is. Now that HBO Hard Knocks is actually going to follow North Carolina this year.
Yep.
For their series. And she's demanding to be an executive producer.
Yeah, okay.
For this season of HBO.
Cool. What's wrong with that?
Production right. She gets production, a production clip in IMDb.
What's wrong with that? Why is everybody... What does anybody have a problem with that, Tony? I don't have a problem
because
with that.
She speaks for him on every occasion. It's more or less not
that'd be great if Arthur
not an ipso facto type of relationship when she speaks for you instead of with you.
But HBO actually scrapped the project now because...
Have you ever heard Bill Belichick talk? He fucking says nothing all the time.
He's like an idiot.
Practice is good. We're waiting for next week.
Yeah.
All right, about that play. Well, I told him, we gotta go at them harder. He needs somebody to talk for him.
He really does.
He needs this kind of thing. I don't have a... Listen, I just imagine...
I envy him. I envy him a little bit.
I imagine Arthur Blank, owner of the Atlanta Falcons, interviewing him for when the head coaching job was available for him. And, he was just like, Bill, I hear you're dating a 24-year-old girl. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm doing that. Okay, great. So I just want to make sure you have an offensive coordinator.
Yeah. And you're conscious and able to speak in full sentences.
Bill Belichick is like, oh yeah, I found Charlie Wise. He's ready to coach again. Charlie Wise is as old as me, Bill. Do you have anybody younger? Ready?
No,
Josh.
Nobody quite this.
Josh McDaniels. We're gonna have him teach a double tight end. We're gonna run 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, a fullback, and 1 very slow and Jewish wide receiver. It's gonna be a great idea. Like, dude, who wins like that? Why? Why do you want to do this to yourself? Why do you have the game? Why do you have the game juked up on high and you fucking pick everybody's overall? It's like a 60 and a 70.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
Bill Belichick for you. I'm not betting on the.
I'm a little jealous of him though. Like he's living his dream at an older age, and you know what? God bless him if he can still get it up in rocker world every.
Well, this is going to be
every couple weeks.
This is going to be kind of how we figure out the age gap, though. He is 49 years older than her.
Yeah.
That'd be like if a person's 49 years old comes knocking on Kevin's door and says, "I want to take your daughter today."
Gross.
Yeah. But the good thing for him is take your daughter to work day is every day for him.
Father's Day is every day for her.
It is.
Well, it's actually Grandfather's Day. He's old enough to be a grandfather.
Guys, we got to wrap up the show. Sparky, where can you find us if you're looking for us, sir?
Well, you can find us on every single major streaming platform, including iHeart, Spotify, Spreaker, Deezer, Castbox, Pocket Cast, GeoReel, Facebook Live Video, Google, YouTube. You can find our merchandise on our Facebook page, and I think that's everything.
Yeah, you could do everything, follow everything, share everything as well. We're here every week. We got some great guests lined up for the near future. I can't give away too much, but we do have some country stars coming very, very soon, along with some movie stars, which I can't quite share just yet, but also in the works. But thank you guys for watching. Of course, I'm Tony Cass.
Kevin Neary here.
Of course, the ever-loving Picasso.
Sparky.
Yeah.
Guys, make sure you tune in every week. We'll catch you soon. Have a great night. Bye.